terrific. Accounts is copacetic. I don't need no permission, but I'm so indebted to this game that I love, and most of all to the man above. Now check me out. Now it was just that Fridays was serving the green. Before I was popping, I was nursing my dreams. Now
just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Fields this way up at the 17. Throwing first play is Pickett. Buying time to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. A first carry for the second-year man. It's Najee Harris. 7 yards there and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. That's swung out wide to Harris. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, you think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. The first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter, because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved.
And this is going to be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
They went for the deep shot early, and that's fine, but I don't think it was the right target to throw it to. You had 3 other guys sprinting downfield, and I thought 2 of them were open. Could have avoided an interception there by attacking a different player in coverage.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Second and 9 now from the 21. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. This is intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know some big guy, we're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Setting up the screen, Harris. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Pickett's throw complete there to Johnson. He'll get it inside the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It's a gain of 34.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
And in for the Steelers touchdown. Calvin Austin. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. They begin this drive with Chubb. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw, Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Watson. Out route here, going to Hunt. He's got it. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. The Browns at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room. But they do have to start winning some games.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Watson. And this one is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And he stopped immediately there. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Swings this out for Hunt. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On 4th down, here's the option. And this winds up a disaster, nowhere near the marker. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this. As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Pickett. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
They have been struggling to put points on the board so far. While you don't want to lump it all on the rookie quarterback, he's definitely the root cause. And all rookies, they have those learning experiences in their first year. What they're hoping for is that he can learn on the fly, work through his struggles against his defense, and at the same time, still find a way to put them in a position to win.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On the keeper, this is Watson. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. Again, Watson to keep it. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. On 4th down, Watson. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he's going to pick up the Browns' 1st down, as that'll be a gain of 15 on 4th. Here's Watson. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
On second down, this is Harris. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. To the air on first down with Pickett. And he's got his target, Harris. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
But they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
1st and 10, here's Pickett. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. After the pick 6, here's Pickett to try again. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
A fairly short kick from the 14, and he won't quite make it to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Pickett back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson. Short completion, just 4 yards. 3rd and 7 now. Here's Pickett. Pickens on the slant. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Graham. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with a 21-7 lead already in their hip pocket, probably not a time to get too creative or inventive here. We'll see. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
But no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter. The final shot before the break, Watson. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. Graham, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. Browns drive about to get started.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Watson off play action. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
That last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And, Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Steelers' 29-yard line.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. They go with Chubb on second down. And some room to work. The 20. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. To throw is Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on second and goal?
Watson going to try and run it.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Deshaun Watson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Off the play fake, here's Pickett.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack didn't quite have the splash of his pick 6 from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
Pickett and the Steelers in need of a big play here. 3rd and long after the sack. They'll look to throw. Able to find his man. It's Pickens. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. Pickett to throw on 1st down. He'll let it fly for Austin. It got his man complete. Touchdown. Calvin Austin with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Steelers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Boswell good with the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 28-14.
Steelers 14. Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
On the return from his end zone is Graham. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Watson.
He'll get this one underneath to Hunt.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Watson now to throw.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Anthony Schwartz, the intended target.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. To the air yet again, Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion. On 2nd and 10, Pickett. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes.
Touchdown, Browns! Kareem Hunt, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From the 6. And he'll go down at the 2-yard line. What a disaster there. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to pump the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
On 2nd down and 4, Pickett. And my goodness, another interception. Greedy Williams picks it off, and the Browns are going to take possession of the football. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Well, clear running situation. Trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play. Set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
And they'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll make it second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
Pickett sets up play action.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game film from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind him.
He'll let it fly for Austin. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a fourth down situation with things not looking particularly rosy.
Pickett, fourth down, desperation time. Out route, and he connects with Freiermuth.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
So after the big play on fourth, here's 1st and 10. Pickett now on first down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Dialing up another pass here. Pickett.
This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They'll try to run with Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Najee Harris, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. The Browns drive about to get started. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Throwing now, Watson.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here we go on 4th. Watson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Pickett to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Boswell good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So with just over a minute to play, this becomes a make-or-break onside kick. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Second down, here's Chubb again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you
saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for Cleveland, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the early struggles continue as they'll sink.
Yeah, that my Brooklyn go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the riches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we were not to ride nobody with, we're the ones who started with it. Translation, Yanni had to buy, Yanni had Yanni hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it, That's how you know we lit. Grrr.